are doing two things. One, you have the status of the invoice is now awaiting payment, all right? And you have the option of, sending it through email, PDF, and sending it to your customers basically, right? And what happens behind the scenes, the second thing that happens is your accounting side of things, your accounts for example, your accounts receivables now would be updated. Okay, there is nothing to do on the back end. Xero does the debit credit entries, journal entries all for you. And you can email Afiq here. Okay, just to put things into context, maybe let me just email Afiq. Okay, pretend this is Afiq's email, and I'm happy with this. Xero pulls the key information, for the key placeholders. About what we call the placeholders is basically key information, all in this email template. Of course, it's highly customizable. If you wish to add in whatever message that you want, you are free to do so as well. Okay, so we pull key information like invoice number, amount, all right, and due date. And then if you're happy with this, you can include whatever attachments you had added previously as well to add as an attachment in the email, right? And I'm happy with this. I can just click send. All right, just to prove everything is live, let me go into my inbox now. So pretend this is Afiq's inbox. Okay, you can see my inbox is empty, and if I hit refresh, I have just received a new email from Daryl, right? This is how it looks like. Since we are using the demo company, it's a pre-saved template, and this is how it looks like lah. Okay, your customers can click on this link here to view the invoice. Okay, and yeah, so just one thing is your customers can save this invoice as a PDF or a CSV file to upload onto their accounting platform. For example, if they are a Xero user, they can click on this button, and what happens is this invoice will be converted into a bill in their Xero account. Okay, your customers also can click on Pay Now, right? If you had set up payment options, your PayPal, your Stripe, and other payment service providers, they will be able to make the payment immediately by clicking on this button. Okay, this is how the invoice typically looks like. One cool feature I want to show you guys would be this. All right, Afiq, I promise. Actually, for me, I'm a very forgetful person. I promised to give Afiq a discount on the webinar, but I did not, right? I charged him $10,000. Okay, so Afiq can easily communicate with me using this tool. Okay, so this is what Afiq type to me, and Afiq can send me a message just like that, right? For me, jumping back into my Xero account, I can, let me just refresh this page. There's two ways I will receive such a notification, if Afiq's, all your customers respond to you through that, link function. One would be you will receive an email, telling you that a customer has replied you regarding invoice number 0031, for example, or you can access this on your Xero account. So you can see this is the same invoice page that we had left off. Okay, and can see very quickly that I had received a message from Afiq's email address saying, hey Daryl, I thought that there would be a discount, right? I can just edit this or void. Let me just edit just to show you guys the feature. Okay, and I will add in, for example, a 50% discount, and you will see now instead of $10,000, it's $5,000. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll hit update. Right? What happens when I hit update again? All your accounts, your accounts receivables and whatnot, all will be automatically updated back end. Okay. Okay, so let me just jump back into Afiq's email. This time, if Afiq opens up my first email, like, Afiq only has one email right now, right? But, assuming that I had resent the invoice and the second email got lost somehow, maybe perhaps in the junk box, or flooded in between all his other email addresses, email that he received. If Afiq clicks on the same link, okay, just to show you guys this, you will see now that even with the old email with that link, Afiq will be looking at the latest set of number with the 50% discount over here lah. Okay, so this is just to show you guys that everything is live, and everyone is always looking at the same set of numbers. It minimizes the confusion. Even if you had opened the link through the old email that you had sent out, your customers all will be looking at the same updated amount, no matter which email they open up lah, basically. Okay, so that's pretty much it for invoicing. Perhaps one last thing I want to show you guys would be invoice reminders, right? For invoice reminders, you can send an email out to your customers. Xero presets this email with templates for you. So it's 7 days, 14 days, and 21 days, but you can easily change this if you want to. So you can easily email, change the email template that you send out to chase for payment. All right, and Xero automatically sends the email out to your customers, so you don't have to give them a call or send them a separate email to chase. So it make it so much easier for you to go and manage the invoice part of things, right? Of course, if I want to send a friendly reminder, for example, due in 3 days, so I can send Afiq or my other customers a friendly reminder if 3 days before the invoice is overdue, right? And Xero will automatically chase the payments for me. So with this, you can see how you can manage your invoices fairly easily, right? Okay, let me just jump back into the dashboard. Okay, basically the business tab is where you will do most of your work. Invoices or bills, for example, bills will just be the flip side. When you receive invoices from your suppliers, you create a bill to make payment out, right? So let me just touch a little bit on bank reconciliation. Okay, bank reconciliation here, it's where you match your transactions with your transactions from your bank account and the transactions that you have created on Xero. So on the left hand side, this is what you will typically see on your bank account. You had spent $4,500, for example, on Smart Agency, and you had received $6,187 from Reachway. Okay, on the right would be what you have in Xero: invoices you had created previously, bills you had created previously, right? And Xero makes it very, very easy to do your bank reconciliation. We pull certain key numbers, for example, we base on the invoice amount, okay, counterparty's name, invoice number. If it matches, we will prompt you in green if it's a perfect match, and you can just click OK to reconcile. And what happens when you click OK is a couple of things happen. One is you acknowledge that you've been paid. So in Xero, the invoice will be, instead of awaiting payment, the status will be paid, right? Your customers will stop receiving the invoice reminders as well. Okay, and then again, your financials are automatically updated. Instead of accounts receivables, your cash now it's updated. And for example, if you pull your P&L reports, all is all updated as well, like it's all live. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with this. I can click OK. This is another perfect match. Trucks and properties, perhaps it's for rent or some sort of fee. I can click OK as well. All right, so this is match. Xero prompts the perfect matches for you. All right, you can do find and match as well. For example, one example I like to show you guys would be Smart Agency, right? So Smart Agency, let me just search my name. I remember making payments to Smart Agency and having certain invoices or bills created already. So let me just search, and you can see that I have two bills created previously, $2,000 and $2,500. And then for instance, I just made the payment, one payment across. That's why there wasn't a perfect match. So Xero didn't prompt me in green, but I'm able to select fairly quickly. And if it's perfect match, $4,500, they will prompt me in green, and I can just click OK again. All right. We fully understand that not everything you would have an invoice or bill created, right? Xero recognizes what you have done previously. So for example, if bank fees is something that you always pay per month or per annum or whatnot, right? Um, for example, this example, Richway Banking Corporation. Perhaps last month I paid $15 in bank fees as well. Okay, Xero will remember this transaction and prompt if this is relating to the same accounts, and you can attribute it to bank fees again, and you can just easily click OK. All right. You can create immediately as well. So for example, brought your customer for coffee. This you can attribute it to Cooper Street Bakery. Perhaps you can classify this under advertise entertainment. Okay, and then coffee, right? Okay, so yeah, you can just easily reconcile this way as well, and you can do bank reconciliation in bulk as well under cash coding lah, which I really think I won't touch on today, right? So this is how you can do your bank reconciliation very quickly, right? One other thing I want to show you guys would be reports. So for reports, you can in Xero you can access to 63 pre-built reports for you. These are all the reports you can play around with. Your profit and loss. Perhaps your sales. Yep, one example would be I like to show would be age receivables. This report will show you who owes you what amount of money. So for example, Basket Case, they owe me $914. City Limousines owe me overdue for more than a month, $488. I can easily just edit this report and include things like email address, phone numbers, persons, and then click update. And what happens is the report generates immediately with contact numbers for me to go and call them or email them, stuff like that. Okay. Another feature I want to show is analytics. So this was what I was speaking about earlier in my slides. So this is the short-term cash flow projection. Okay, Xero uses AI to predict your your cash flow in 7 or 30 days. Okay, you can select between 7 or 30 days. If you add on $10 a month, 7 USD per month, you will be able to get access to Analytics Plus, where you can have more customization. If you want 60 days or 90 days in the future, you can do that as well. Okay, so let me just show you guys an example. This is how it looks like. Xero projects the cash flow for me in the next 7 days. All right, they include invoices that my customers are supposed to pay me, and bills that I need to pay, and also certain habits. For example, every 7th of the month you will pay rent, for example. They will include that. Okay, and then even though you had not created a bill or payment, the AI picks that up, based on the last 3 months, okay, and predicts certain predictions. All right, and forecast the cash flow for you. So this way you can pick up, if you're facing with a cash flow problem, you can quicker, right? Or if you guys have big opportunities, if you have huge cash reserve, perhaps you want to do something with your huge cash reserve, right? Okay, so this is the short-term cash flow function. All right, over here you can have quick access to your invoices or bills to go and chase for payment, for example, or make overdue payments. Okay, the other one would be business snapshot. This would give you a better idea instead of running multiple reports like your age receivables report and then your ledger report, for example. This will give you a quick snapshot on key performance trackers lah, basically your income and expenses, profit and loss, and then certain accounts that you wish to highlight as well. Okay, and this this is a good feature that I would like always like for you to pay attention is average time you get paid. Xero counts that and put it into data for you where you can use it meaningfully, right? The faster you get paid, of course, the much better. And then average time you paying your suppliers, this is unusually high. Your suppliers will not be too happy with you lah if this is a real life scenario. Okay. Yeah. So just a couple of the key features that I wanted to show you guys. Okay. One other thing would be the support as well. So for Xero support, you can access this over here on the question mark button. All right. You have Xero Central where you have a bunch of learning articles and videos. This is Xero Central. You can search on whatever topic that you want. For example, your setup, you have some issues with your bank feed. Okay, just search bank feed and the relevant article will all appear. Okay, stop a bank feed, set up a bank feed, stuff like that. If you find that the article here is not useful enough for you, okay, you can always raise a ticket to Xero support staff. We have 4 officers worldwide, so no matter what time of the day when you raise a ticket, someone should be assigned to you fairly quickly. Within our promise to you is within 24 hours. You would receive a response from sales staff, support staff in Xero, who will be able to look into the issue for you. Okay, so that's for the support side. All right. One thing I want to touch on would be this app marketplace. So I mentioned earlier that you can connect all your different apps that you're using, right, on Xero. Okay, so we have over 1,000 apps worldwide you can connect. I'm on the Malaysian side. Okay, so if you're googling it, you might be on the US side, for example. Just make sure you change your region to Malaysia to keep all the apps more localized and more suitable for you lah. Okay, so we have so many apps over here. Whether is it inventory management, your financial service, e-commerce, your CRMs, payments, payroll, HR, your POS systems as well. So there are so many apps that connect on Xero, and we are always looking to add more partners. So yeah, this will create a very, very smooth workflow again. Once you update certain things on one platform, it flows on to your other platforms as well. On Xero, you can have a full picture on how you're running a business lah. Okay, so going back to the slides. All right, as your business grows, this is a typical question. Can your business tools adapt? So if you're doing everything manually, it's going to be a lot of work and very, very time consuming. Small businesses, at least half of them have at least one digital solution. Okay, I mentioned earlier there are over 1,000 apps worldwide you can connect. So no matter what apps you're using, right, you can easily connect them on Xero if they have partnered up with Xero. So this is just an example, right? Xero as the core, linking to your banks, HubDoc, which is a free product in all Xero accounts as well. You can scan in documents and then capture all the documents, and then these documents can be easily translated into a invoice or bill. Okay, Telenox, whether you're using a HR software for payroll, for leave management and whatnot, inventory, lenders, payment collections, payment processors. So your customers can make payments much faster, your POS, everything can all connect. This is just a good example that I like to show. Right. So in Xero, there are tons of other features that we haven't covered today. These are just some of the other cool features that is vital for you guys to manage your cash flow, right? I'll just leave this here, just a couple of seconds. Okay. Yeah, so we've reached the end of the demo session. Let me take a look at the Q&A box. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 3 questions. Actually, more than.
Okay, we have a question from Stephen Koo. Please share how Xero address SST reporting, preferably showing demonstrate example. Sorry, Stephen, can I know what's SST? All right, another question from Stephen would be integrated with MBB for bank recon. Stephen, let me check and get back to you. But from my understanding, this is not familiar with me, so I don't think right now MBB integrates with Xero. Xero is an open API, so your bank or service, financial service provider can easily reconnect with us to create the bank feed. We are always looking, and happy to have more bank feeds with us. Okay, another question from Kevin. All right, just a couple of questions actually. First is there an AP invoice online approval flow built in Xero? Right. Kevin, there are a couple of things here. One is one thing I didn't touch on earlier is different users. So you can set up different users, for example, like a junior sales staff. They can create draft invoices, for example, right? And you will need to log in to approve. Okay. So you can set that up. People with invoice only access, they cannot view, bank balances and whatnot on Xero. They will be able to create drafts or approve invoices. That's depending on the permissions you give them. Okay. Second question from Kevin is, can Xero generate daily TB and financial statement? You can get updated and live data all under reporting. Okay, so if you need, you can generate these reports on a daily basis. Okay, how does journal uploading works? Okay, perhaps what I would suggest is Vanessa, if you can help with giving Kevin the relevant Xero Central link, that will help as well. Okay, so you can upload your journals manually as well in bulk via CSV file lah. Okay, and how the FX revaluation works. Okay, so perhaps let me just show you the invoices, right? Okay, let me create a new invoice. So instead of USD, let me just bill in another currency. Okay, for example, Australian dollars. Okay, and you can see the rate from xe.com here is $1.37, right? Okay, if I'm not happy with this, I can just overwrite this manually. Maybe I want to use 1.4, for example. Okay, and you can see it's easily overwritten. Okay, 1.4. So yeah, you can just easily overwrite this. Okay, let me just pop into the chat box as well, just in case. We have some questions there. Okay, right. So MBB is okay. Stephen has replied. MBB is Maybank Berhad. Unfortunately, right now I believe Maybank and Xero is still in the negotiating phase, where we are still setting up the bank feeds connection. But it depends on whether the bank is willing to push through this as well. Ultimately, because this will require resources from both the bank and Xero to set up a bank feed. So right now we don't have any integration at the moment, but yes, we are working with Maybank to directly answer your question lah. Okay, can you we have a question from Janet as well. Can share any export out to Excel report in raw data format? Yes, so from your reports you can I will show you guys. You can do an export on Google Sheets and stuff. For example, your P&L lah. Okay, over here you can export as Excel, Google Sheets, and whatnot. Okay, Janet. So I hope that answers your question, and I apologize. I'm not from the Malaysia team, so I'm not too familiar, with like Malaysian key jargons like MBB and stuff lah, Stephen. Okay, sales and service tax. Okay. Okay, so for Steven's question on SST, I believe Vanessa has given you the relevant Xero Central link. So hope that answers your question. All right. Any other questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A box, yeah?
Hi, Daryl. There's another question from Janet about the format Excel.
Okay. Give me a second. Yeah. So Janet asked a question on GL format Excel. Okay. Ledger. Okay, so this is the general ledger report. Again, you can do an export over here. So most of our reports, all you'll be able to export quite easily, no matter what other forms you're using, whether it's in Excel or Google Sheet, for example. You can just do easily, just pull off the report from there lah. Okay, in Xero, there are so many reports that you can access over here. So feel free to create a trial and run through the different reports. Or just one quick tip is all Xero accounts, whether on trial or paid subscription, will come with this thing called the demo company with fictional data already preloaded. So whatever you see today, I use the demo company to demo to you guys. So you guys will be able to look at exactly the same numbers and everything. Okay. This is the real company and this is the demo company. You can easily just switch your companies this way lah. Okay, if you have more than one company, you can add all your organizations here and manage all of them using the same email as well. So it's made very, very easy to run through all your different companies if required. Okay, another question from Stephen. Each company equals one subscription. Yes. So each entity, unique entity, would require its own separate subscription. Because this would generate, your P&L and your financial statements all, in one for each subscription in one subscription. So one company would require one subscription. Yes. All right, but it's easy for you to manage through all your other subscriptions like using the same email address. Okay, so for different branches in the same company, you don't have to have a separate subscription. You can easily add trackers, what we call the trackers. Steven, if you want, I can reach out to you after this to send you, the relevant Xero Central links, and you can add tracking in your invoices and bills, so you can attribute it to um, a certain invoice to a certain outlet, for example. So it's easier for you to go and manage lah from there. All right, Stephen, I've shared the Xero Central article with you as well, so it's easier for you. Okay, any other questions? What I would suggest also is we will be reaching out to you guys after this session. So if you guys have any further questions down the road, please feel free to reach out anytime. Okay, we have one more. Okay, right. Yeah, so otherwise I'll pass back the time. Give me a second. Okay, let me just go back to the slides as well. Sorry, yeah. Okay, you guys can easily go and create a 30-day free trial with Xero. Okay, or feel free to drop me an email if you want me to get in touch with you guys to show you guys a little bit more, and to invite you for a Xero webinar as well. You can find out more into detail whatever we've touched on today. All right, you can easily go and create a 30-day free trial over here. All right, make sure you're on the Malaysian side. You don't want to get a Xero edition that another country's edition lah, where the country's automatic tax and stuff will apply to that Xero account. Okay, no worries. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Let me just bounce back to my email address. Okay, otherwise I think Afi, you can take back the session. Yeah.
All right. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you everyone for listening to today's webinar, and thank you so much, Daryl and Xero, for the detailed explanation and demonstration of how Xero can help you in managing your business's accounts and forecasting, planning the financial aspect of your company. Before we end the session, don't forget to get your 30-day free trial from Xero. So that's all we have for today. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, I think Janet, before Janet, before you leave,
Janet has the last question.
Yeah, Janet has the last question.
Okay.
Okay, so Janet is asking if there's any extra charges for customization. Okay, so firstly is Xero, right? We don't have customization per se. If you are intending to change the layout and the tabs, for example, it's a subscription based model, right? So everybody is getting the same version of Xero, but within the reports, for example, the chart of accounts, for example, you are able to customize all these in detail to suit your operations lah. So you can easily just under chart of accounts, you can add in whatever accounts you want to add, for example. Okay, or like I showed you guys earlier, the reporting you can easily just do customization, whether is it financial year, and whatnot. Okay. Over here in settings, so you can, create invoice settings, your financial year, stuff like that. You are able to customize all this information. Okay, but in general, this is the whole platform you'll be getting lah. Okay, just to confuse, just hope that doesn't confuse you, because some accounting platforms, they are able to tailor and customize the whole user experience and all. But at Xero, we are not doing that lah. Okay. Payment is a monthly subscription basis, so it's like very similarly to your Netflix or Spotify, YouTube Premium, stuff like that. Just link a credit card and you will have access to Xero already. All right, I think that's all. Sorry to interrupt you, Afiq.
No worries. And thank you, Janet, for that last question. Yeah, I think thank you again, Daryl and Xero. So we can end here. Don't forget to get your